Everybody, welcome again to my YouTube channel. On today's video, we are going to begin a new series. I've told you guys how I wrote and published my book in print. Now I'm going to be teaching you on how to write your own book. I'm going to run a fresh series on how to write your book from start to finish. Even if you've not written a book before, this video is for you. Even if you've not written a book before, so don't miss out on any part of this series. We're going to learn how to generate story ideas, how to get your book titles, how to design your book covers, how to develop your plot, how to create an interesting dialogue, how to typically everything book writing. So at this point, if you've not subscribed, go and subscribe. Go and subscribe, because this is hot dedicacy. You need to be notified each time I upload a video. Have you done that? Have you done that? I believe you've done that. Let's continue. Alright, welcome back. Now, writing a book is not as hard as we assume it is, and it's not as simple, and it's not as simple as it is printed to look. Yeah, it depends on the niche, your experience, and maybe the level of time, discipline, and sacrifice you're willing to pay. There's a 3 determinants of your writing success. Yeah, so like I said in the live stream we had the other day, I started my online journey in 2020. That's when I started writing. I was not born a writer. I didn't write from childhood, and I have 4 published books to my name, meaning that you too can have yours. You too can have it. You could have more. You could have 20. Imagine writing a book every month. You have 12 books by the end of the year. It's not impossible, it's achievable. So stay with me while I put you through on how to write a book. When you want to write a book, the first step is getting the idea. Now, the idea is different from the big picture. The idea is different from the title. The idea is different from the plot, the narration. Meanwhile, this series will go in 2 forms. We tackle fiction writers first, then we come for non-fiction writers. Yes, so it's going to be balanced. Because I'm a fiction writer and I love fiction, we tackle fiction first and non-fiction second. Yeah, so like I said earlier, writing a book is beyond getting your book idea is not getting the title. Your book idea is not getting the big picture, it's not getting the theme, it's not getting the plot, it's not getting it's just getting the message now, the picture. You can be on your own and then you just get an idea. You're like, bam, this is a book idea. How do I develop it? You can stay, maybe you're watching a movie and something strikes a chord in your mind, in your memory. You can be reading a book, you could be studying, you could be having a conversation with a friend, and something is telling that, wow, this thing is actually a good idea. This thing can make a good book. How will I do it? How can I do it? As you're not saying that ideas, you're not saying those ideas now. That's the book idea itself. Now, the first step to writing a book is getting the idea. Because when you have a desire to write a book and you meet me, my first question is, what kind of book do you want to write? Yes. My first question is usually, what kind of book do you want to write? When writers meet me, they ask me, I want to write a book. How do I go about it? You want to write a book? Yes. Now, what kind of book do you want to write? That's where the idea comes in. When you now tell me, okay, I want to write a book it's a book centered on faith, on this. That's when I now ask you for the bigger picture. Ask you, how do you want it to go? Who are you writing to? Who are your audience? What's the purpose of this book? What do your audience stand to gain by reading this book now? So that's the thing. You have to, the bigger picture comes after the idea. So the first thing when it comes to writing a book is getting your book idea. If you're not writing down the book and paper, go and get one, or save this video, download it, so you can always make reference back to it. And share it to your friends. You know, anyone struggling with book writing, share it with your friends. Like, it's going to be an impactful series, I promise you. Then after getting your book idea, the next step to take is to write it down. Many of you ignore this part, and that's why you always struggle when you want to write a book. Because you know, I got this idea, I wanted to write a book, but you cannot lay a hand on the idea. You cannot place a hand on what it is, because you let me say, you thought yourself so high that your brain cannot disappoint you. Haven't your brain disappointed in the exam hall before? If yours have not, mine has. In one exam hall, I literally forget how to spell metamorphosis. Not metamorphosis. I think it was cockroach. Yes, cockroach. I couldn't spell cockroach in the exam hall. It was that bad. It was that bad. At times it was worse. Somebody say, spell is. Can you spell is? Is. So your brain can disappoint in the exam hall. Talk more of a bigger project like book writing. You see why the writing down process is necessary. Once you get your book idea, the next step is to write it down. As you can see, I'm not reading this from anywhere. I'm telling you from experience. I'm giving you practical lesson, practical knowledge, which you will not find everywhere. Secondly, okay, we've talked about first and second. When you get your book idea, you write it down. Then the next thing you need to do is to get an outline. Though everyone does not work with outlines, maybe because you've mastered the book thing, maybe because you're busy. But if you're a first-time writer trying to navigate your way through this writing thing, just follow this thing I'm telling you. When you get your book idea, rewrite it down. So in that same, don't get a piece of paper and write down this outline. Don't use a piece of paper that you will misplace when they are sleeping in the house. Get a good book. A good book. Get a book, writing book or writing journal, writing idea. Write it down, because there is a tendency to get new book ideas while writing the first one. And some people will either abandon the first book and start writing on the second idea, or trying to finish the first idea and lose the second idea. Every idea is divine, every idea is important. So don't treat any less. Attach same value to all of your ideas. They are all solutions waiting for generations. Yeah, so in the same book where you are writing the outline, while you're writing the idea, the next step to take is your book outline. Remember, we've not talked about the book title. For most people, getting the book title is a challenge. Most times they end up trying to get the book title and they lose interest in the book. Most times people are trying to write the preliminary pages and then they abandon the projects. Most times, not like you intentionally abandon this project, but maybe you got busy, life happened, you just over time you lost interest in the process, and I wouldn't love that for you. Every conceived idea must be vetted. Did you say amen? I said every conceived idea must be vetted. If you like, don't say amen. So in the same book, the next thing to do is to outline. Now this outline is nice, the bigger picture. What do I want to communicate? Is that this outline now that you decide if your book is fiction or not fiction. That is, if you want to tell a story or you just want to write the book. This place that you make up your mind, this outline. Now, if it's fiction, stay here. If it's not fiction, still stay here and learn. It will come for you people. Now, when you now decide, okay, this is fiction, you now say, okay, who am I writing to? Who am I writing to? Do I want to, is it teenagers? Because teenagers still misbehave now. Or is it young adults? Is it children? Is it parents? Is it for digital marketers? Like, who are you writing to? Then the next question you should, this is part of your outline. The next question you should ask yourself is, what problem am I trying to solve with this book? Because this is one thing that really affected me when I wrote my first book. I will create a separate video on that. When you know your audience and problem you're solving, to help you determine the kind of book to write, how to sell it, people you're selling it to, because definitely your book is not for everybody. Everybody will not buy a book. So your book should be dedicated to a specific set of audience. Then that same outline, you've drafted the big picture. The big picture now is the theme, that is the main message of the book, because that theme will keep you in check, to keep you on track, to help you not to derail. The problem you're trying to solve is what will drive the story, like to be the fuel that will drive the story around. Are we together? Are you getting me? Then the audience now will now guide you on how to tailor your writing style, your writing tone, your use of words, your speech pattern, and all. Remember, you don't use the same kind of words or language for the same kind of audience. There are times it requires you to be formal, there are times it requires you to be informal, times it requires you to be semi-formal. And I think this video is getting long, so with this we just call it a series. This is part 1 of the series. We talked about the idea, the writing it down, the big picture, the outlining, the problems. We've gone deep, so please pardon me. We have to continue the next series. Next series promises to be more detailed and more explosive. So catch you in my next video. Thank you for watching to this point. Do well to leave a thought, leave a comment, and let me know your thoughts about the video. Ask your questions, and with that we'll call it a day. Catch you in my next